Tonight we're going to do potato skins. It was actually requested by one of the viewers, and we've done this before. We've made it as an appetizer or snacks. You know, usually when we have some people over watching some football games, this is a good appetizer to have. So here's an example of an appetizer platter for the potato skins. And tonight we're actually having Philly cheesesteak for dinner. So here's Crystal's dinner. She's a Philly cheesesteak, but you see you could actually put it on the side for you know, a meal as well. So if you're interested in this dish, please watch and we'll step you through the whole recipe. Prep work that goes into this I want to go over is when you get the potatoes for this, we get the Russet potatoes, and you see kind of how thin they are and wide. These are good for the potato skins because what we do after we bake them, we're going to cut them down this way, and then this whole thing's going to be a skin.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and then also when, and this goes just for baking potatoes in general, when you go to bake them and put them in the oven, if you're going to do multiple, try and get them all the same size. This way they're all going to cook and be done around the same time. If you have some smaller ones and some real big ones, the big ones aren't going to be done the same time. So try and keep them uniform. And also when you get the potatoes and you have them home and you store them, it's always good to store them in like a cool, dark place, like in a mesh bag or cardboard. Paper bag's good too. If you put them in a plastic bag, you really should like poke some holes. You want to get some circulation. Before I used them, I washed them. Generally, you just want to wash the potatoes right before you use them. You don't want to wash them when you get home and store it. So we washed and scrubbed with the brush, dried them, so we're all good to go. So having said all that.
Yeah, that's a lot about potatoes.
I know,
and
right?
these are like monster potatoes. You were like, these are thin. I was thinking that's a big potato. Okay, but yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So the main ingredient, of course, is going to be the potatoes. We have the sharp cheddar cheese, but I sort of deviated from this. I had the Mexican blend cheese.
Oh yeah, I like that, yeah.
Yeah, and that's a good one to use on this, but we normally put the sharp cheddar, and that's what the recipe calls for, but that's a good substitute. We have green onion, chives, going to use some butter, garlic, some parsley just for garnish. Then we have bacon. Now you could do bacon bits if you know you want to cut down on the preparation and the time, but I like frying the bacon from scratch. Some oil, paprika, salt, pepper, sour cream, and some grated cheese. So the first step is going to be to bake the potatoes, and they're going to bake for a while for about 45 minutes. Then we're going to take them out, let them cool, slice them open. Okay, we take the 4 potatoes, just put it on a regular baking pan, and you don't have to wrap them individually. You could just wrap them like this. And we'll just bake them in the oven for about 45 minutes, almost an hour. We'll see how they are because they are big. While the potatoes are cooking, we could do or take advantage of that by doing some prep work. We want to fry the bacon, and like I said, you could use bacon bits, but I really prefer the fresh bacon. And the key to doing this with the fresh bacon is when you cook it really crispy. And then we're going to break it up in nice little pieces. You want to do about 2 slices per potato. So since we have 4 potatoes, we'll do 8 slices. And remember, we cut the potatoes in half, so it really effectively turns out to 1 slice of bacon per potato half. Start peeling the garlic, and we'll chop it up. I know the recipe calls for 2 cloves, but you know, I really like garlic. I'm going to put just a couple extra in. And now what I normally do is I have a habit of like scraping it up with a knife, but my sister called me and said, "Hey Pete, you got to stop doing that with the knife." She cringes every time I do it. So Dad, here you go.
Ah, yay!
There you go.
See, I didn't even know that was the wrong thing to do.
And look.
I'd be so happy I cut something correctly.
No, but it really was a good idea. She said use this, so from now on, I'll use this, and since you said that, I've been using this like to pick up all the things I've been cutting. Like I cut celery the other day. This picked it up so great.
Ah, good tip from you, sister.
Thank you, sis.
Aw, she knows.
I took the skin off the garlic, and now I'm going to mince it. So I sliced it up, and now I'm going to slice it nice and fine.
Hear that bacon popping.
I know. And it's good. I mean, while, you know, things are cooking, you could take advantage of that time and do other things. Okay, now I turned the bacon over and cooked it, and it's, I'd say, on the well done side, but that's good because remember, we want to crumple it, and when it's well done and we let it cool off, it's going to crumple really nice. So I did these 4, and I'll do 4 more, and then we'll be done. But then I'm going to leave the grease in there because we're going to use this grease to cook the garlic. Okay, I put the pan with the bacon grease back on the element, and I turned it down to medium. And we're going to take 2 tablespoons of butter and about 3 tablespoons of olive oil, and we're going to gently fry the garlic. Okay, I only had it in here for about 30 seconds. I actually turned it off because it was nice and hot. You don't want to burn the garlic, so I actually turned the element off because that's going to cook nice.
Wow, that was making me dizzy.
Pour it in the bowl. Okay, now we'll add some Parmesan cheese. About a nice heaping tablespoon. We'll put it in, and you know what? Maybe just a little more. Some salt. Generous with the salt. A little pepper. And then finally, some paprika. Yeah, we'll mix this up. And we're just going to brush this on the potato skins when they're done.
Oh.
Okay, again, while the potatoes are cooking, we'll do more prep work. We're gonna cut the scallions. We'll just cut them in nice little pieces like that. So we're gonna sprinkle this on the top once it's done. So it's somewhat for garnish, but it's also, it gives a very good flavor to it. So
Ooh, you scraped it?
I know, Debbie's. From Debbie. Okay, that's the scallions, and now we'll do the chives. And if you don't have the fresh chives, the chives in the spice jar are just as fine. There we go. There we go. And now we start cutting up the green pepper. This is for the Philly cheesesteak. Oh wait, you can't see this.
Oh no, yeah, this is a wrong recipe. This is about potato skins. I'm wrong and you're wrong. All right.
Okay, we have the ingredients lined up here. We have the cheese because when the potatoes are done and cooled off, we're gonna have like an assembly line here.
Ah.
And the bacon, you see how crisp that is now?
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice and cool, and we're just gonna break it up. And you see when you cook it that crisp, you see how easy that breaks? And it's just like bacon bits, only it's the freshest bacon bits you could ever get. You know, much more superior to what you get in the jar. Okay, we just took the potatoes out of the oven, and they're just about all done. I mean, if you were going to serve them as baked potatoes, they're not quite done yet, but we took them out because what we're going to do now, we're going to let them cool, slice them in half, and remove a lot of the potato from it just to leave the shell. So we'll let it cool for about 10 minutes. When we slice these, we don't want to slice them this way, because if we did, you see how thin that would be? Mm-hmm. So we want to slice it here so we'll have a nice potato skin. And you see the steam? That's going to help it cool off. Mm-hmm. So at this point, they're out of the oven. We'll slice them all. Oh, that one fell apart. We're going to have a problem with that one.
That's the problem potato.
I know. And we'll just let them cool a bit. What we're going to do is we're just going to slice around the outer skin. We want to leave about 1/4 of an inch of potato around there. So you see how we're slicing that? Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll slice that around. And then we'll go again and cut a little further in. And each rotation we go just a little further. And then we could just lift the whole thing out. And I like to put that like in a bowl because I don't want to throw that out. I like to use it a little later. And now that we have this, we could take a spoon and just scrape a little more of it out and put it in that bowl. We don't want to waste that. We'll use it later. We're going to do that for all these. Okay, now we have them all cut and I put them on a baking sheet. So we're going to take the oil mixture that we had before with the garlic and butter and olive oil, bacon grease. And you see this paintbrush? I was in Safeway the other day and I was going to get one of these and they wanted like $6 for this. And it was just a basic paintbrush and I thought, boy, that's a lot of money. So I went to Home Depot and got this for under $1.
Home Depot.
Yeah, it all depends on where you go. If you go to a Safeway or Giant or your food store, you probably get that there if they sell like kitchen utensils, but you're going to pay top dollar. If you go to like a Home Depot or Lowe's, you could get a lot cheaper. So I usually buy a few of these and I use them, you know, in the kitchen. So you're just going to coat these with the oil mixture. We're gonna turn them over and coat the outside of it too. So we coated the inside and now we're gonna coat the outside and we're gonna bake it in an oven at 450 for just about 10 minutes. But be real generous with this oil as you rub it on there. Okay, it's been 10 minutes. So we'll take these out and put them over here.
They are sizzling.
That's right. And now we'll turn them over. Okay, now that they came out of the oven, we're just going to put a little more liquid on the inside. And if you're watching your cholesterol, this probably isn't for you.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's good to indulge every once in a while.
Yeah, and you can just go back to those healthy things we made.
That's right, later on.
Oh, the strawberry avocado, the bean salad.
Okay, now we'll take a little of the bacon, sprinkle in each one. Now the cheddar cheese. Just put a heaping serving on top of that. Okay, and that was 2 cups of cheese.
Wow.
Okay, now we'll put this back in the oven for about 5 minutes to melt the cheese. Okay, now we took them out of the oven. We melted the cheese and the bacon bits. And now we're just going to put a little sour cream on top of each one.
More cheese never hurt anything.